10 seconds or 15-second lapse, what you could do is answer that question, still your gaze on that person. We are doing it through body language and eye contact with a smile on your face, right? So the person would realize that you are looking at him intently. The group, the class would also realize that you're looking at that person intently simply because the person has not been paying attention. So from there onwards, that side of the group would be with you at least for the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Your
And
audio.
my question to you is, what happens sometimes in front of a large number of people, like in a group discussion? Sometimes we forget about the content that we wanted to speak, and we cannot express them fully. So, how to come up with that content, or how to handle that situation?
Students, before every group discussion, you are allowed a couple of minutes, aren't you? Are you allowed a couple of minutes before the group discussion?
Sorry, ma'am?
Yes or no? Do you get?
Yes, ma'am.
You get. You must always have a notepad. Look at me. I still have a notepad. Okay? So when there are things, I scribble down. Always have a notepad with you. Whatever points come to your mind, immediately start writing. In listening skills, we did something like mind mapping. Okay? Over there, leave space for all the thoughts that have come to your mind. Now, once you start your group discussion, you would see that someone would talk about one point, someone would talk about another point, you would be talking about some of the points from there, and those points would lead to something different. Fine? So when the other person is, when other person is talking, listen actively, intently, and immediately map, so that when you get the chance, you can present the internal summary, you can link your point to them. When you are presenting and linking your points to them, you get a mark for giving a point, you get a mark for linking it to someone else's point, value added to someone else's point, and third, it comes across as a good team spirit. Okay? So note taking becomes very important. Note taking and active listening are two extremely important ingredients in a group discussion, and then body language. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear.
My query is it compulsory to stick for a one point in group discussion? That is it compulsory if you are speaking a positive point, we need to continue with that point until end, or is it we can balance between negative and positive?
You can always balance between negative and positive. Remember, my first sentence was group discussion is not a debate. When it is a debate, you have to take sides. But a group discussion is a discussion where you sit with people to brainstorm. Okay, and during brainstorming, there may be questions, there may be statements and points which may contradict your point of view. And you may suddenly realize that your process of thinking is not perhaps as rewarding as the process of thinking of other participants. So you can shift your stance. You are getting enriched by their stance. Okay? So always remember that, because here in this course, we are not simply preparing you for selection process. We are preparing you for life. So when you would join the corporates, when you would when you will take up a career, over there, it would be important to understand other person's view, to shift your stance when you are faced with a different ideology or a different way of thinking, because that could be a better way, more researched way. Fine, dear? Yes, always remember, group discussion is not a debate. Interview skill is not an elimination process. They are not trying to eliminate you. They are merely trying to get the best fit for their organization. So if you are not the best fit for one organization, perhaps you are the best fit for some other organization. So you should not feel bad about it. You should not feel neglected, or you should not, it shouldn't be a very negative feeling if you're not selected anywhere. And resume writing, the third point in today's session that I would want to emphasize is resume writing. When you get into that mode, do not clutter it, because whatever you put on your resume frames a question. And therefore, be very judicious, be very confident about what you are putting on your resume. Fine, dear? Thank you very much. Do we still have some time? We'll take the last question now.
Much for giving this opportunity, ma'am. My question is that before presentation, we generally have anxiety. So, is there need to have anxiety? It should persist or not?
You know what, dear?
Thank you.
You know what, dear? I mean, if I have to make a presentation in front of a very eminent person and I don't have butterfly in my tummy, I think something is going to go wrong. It's a superstition maybe. Okay? Anxiety, as long as it does not impact your presentation, is fine. There was a time when I was a student and I would also shake.
Okay.
Okay? But then what happens is, I would tell myself, shaking impacts my presentation. If I have to make a presentation, I am obviously the chosen one. I have done the research. I have worked hard for it. So obviously when I go and make that presentation, I am the one who knows the most about it, apart from my teacher, of course. Okay? So, and then even if I do not know everything, I would get a chance to learn. So when you go make that presentation, the anxiety, the fear to not succeed should not be there. Discard it absolutely. Just feel confident saying, I am the one who has to make this presentation. I am the one who has prepared for it, and therefore I'll definitely do a good job. And if not this time, there's always a second chance. And I have learned something from this. Take the takeaway, practice it, and then go on. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure interacting with you all. It's also an honor to be interacting with you all, because that's how we improve our area of wisdom. That's how we come to know what ails you, what are the questions that bothers you, and then we can frame our module as per those. It's been wonderful. Remember, listening skills are extremely important. Be a good listener. When you are in a GD, do not think of it as a debate. When you go for that all-important interview, always feel confident and prepare your resume judiciously. On that note, have a good day. Thank you very much.